Hello. Today I'm going to talk about the obstacles that we may be facing when we're trying to lose weight during menopause. So, for many women, during this time, we see a change in our body shape. We also see a change in our weight and how we're feeling in our clothes. So everything feels a bit tighter. Our shape may start to change, and things that you've worn for years actually just don't fit you anymore. And this is quite common. So we've got to go back to thinking about those hormones again. What is happening? So there is actually something happening within you, and that is your estrogen levels are changing. So that is the most important thing to remember. And because of the estrogen levels changing and the type of estrogen that we're producing changing, our body is responding and dealing with food and our surroundings and everything that is thrown at it in a very different way. So we are our body is wanting to gain weight. So let's look at what are the obstacles that are facing us during this time. If we are looking to lose weight, and really focusing on body fat, actually we're trying to maintain and make sure we've got a good body fat percentage rather than weight in itself. So what are the obstacles? Let's start off with tiredness and fatigue. One of the symptoms of menopause, whether that's perimenopause or postmenopause or even menopause itself, is tiredness and fatigue. And this can have a really strong impact on your energy levels. You don't feel like getting up to exercise. You don't feel like getting up to do that workout that you might have planned. And that, emotionally and mentally, that can kind of have an impact on how you're feeling about yourself. So you kind of start to put yourself down as well because you've not done that exercise. So remembering that one of the symptoms of menopause is tiredness and fatigue, put that right there in the front of your mind so that you know that actually this is something that's happening to me and I need to override that. I need to exercise and move. Okay. So fatigue and tiredness is definitely an obstacle that is going to be in your way. One of the second obstacles that I just mentioned now is that you might have low mood and anxiety, and that's going to also feed into not knowing what you should be doing. Should I be exercising? Should I not be? I don't really feel like getting up and going out. I don't really want to. It might even cause you anxiety to get into the car and go to go to a gym or to join an exercise class or a dance class or something. So that, again, that anxiety of actually carrying out those, what you might have planned, your intention, that can get in the way. So that is definitely an obstacle that we face. And these are all symptoms of menopause. Another one, lack of confidence. And this again is that cycle, isn't it? So if you're tired and fatigued, you're then feeling low and anxious about the fact that your body is changing and things are happening. You're going to start losing confidence in your own self. And that low self-esteem can really feed into that self-perpetuating cycle of, well, I'm not good enough for this. What's the point of doing it anyway? Because it's not working. And that can really affect, what you're wearing, what you want to wear, whether you want to go out and meet friends and socialize. So again, it's that lack of confidence that can feed into and be an obstacle for you actually being consistent in your weight loss journey. Really, the other thing as well is that when you're you try to do something, you're doing something, you've tried it, but it's just not working. You may also find that you're getting injured, and that can be an obstacle. So you're kind of like, oh well, but I've got aches and pains, and every time I try and do an exercise, I get injured with it. That can be an obstacle. But again, that's because there are physical changes happening in your body. Estrogen is no longer really as readily available. And therefore, we're also losing muscle mass, and we're probably not eating enough protein. There's lots of things that are happening, and these are obstacles that stand in our way. So it is really important to focus on what we can do and how do we overcome these obstacles. And that's something I'm going to talk about in next week's episode. So please join me then.